being lied by someone you had trusted for a few years and was planning to settle down with to only learn the fact you have been lied and cheated on is one of the most heartbreaking moments in someone's life. I had only heard it happen to others. I never expected it would happen to myself. Let me go back in time as part of the background. Me and my ex-fiancée Molly, we met in high school, but we didn't start dating until our third year of high school and got engaged after high school. But we chose to wait until we were financially stable, to get be able to have a big wedding if we wanted, and of course, to be able to buy a house. But then it happened. We were about 24, so this happened about a few years ago. We choose to get married, and everything we were planning for, what type of decorations, what location, and all, everything went smoothly until it happened. Now to the part when it actually happened. My name is Derek. It actually happened during my own actual wedding. I was, well, I was clueless about this. I only learned from my best friend Jack about the cheating part. I was in the dressing room getting ready to leave and walk up to the altar just before the ceremony when there was a knock on the door. Who is it? It's me, Jack. Can I come in? Yeah, I was about to heading out to the altar, but yeah, you can come in. When he walked in, he wasn't actually cheerful as he was before. He had some this concerned look. What about happened to you? You look like you've seen a ghost or something. Well, maybe not a ghost, but since you're sitting down, it's probably best I tell you this, Jack said. He told me something that the most shocking I never expected to hear from him. What? What are you saying? Yeah, it's true. You must be you must be joking. Molly would never cheat on me. I mean, we have been together for a few years. Well, it's true. She did. And she still did. Still are doing it. But what? Have you any actual proof of that? Yeah, I do have this. And then he pulled out his phone and showed me a video clip that one of our other mutual friends from high school sent to to Jack. And the video clip, even though it was only less than a minute long, it was when Molly were in town. She was kissing another guy, a guy that both me and Jack knew from high school. And he wasn't even a friend of ours, not even a close acquaintance, only what we knew about him. I was livid. How the... Do you know how long it's been going on? No. Only I got this only a moment ago. Wait, so you didn't even know about this until before you walked in here? Jack shook his head and said, "No, I had no idea." I can't believe it. Well, no matter what, the wedding is off. Are you sure about this? Would you even get married to someone if you have been cheated on? Regardless if it's only for just only one time or something? I mean, come on. Me and Molly have been together for since high school. And we even got engaged shortly after high school was over. I spent so much. We would even plan on getting to find our own house eventually. Start a family. Who knows if she even would still be doing with this other guy, even if I get married to her. You know how complicated things would have been. I mean, what if she did still end up having with him is as a side on the with me. And if we have your family, who knows if those kids won't even be mine? Could it be that, guys? And if that is true, I would be heartbroken even more. Jack just stood there silently, but just nodded. Then I thought it was time to inform the others. We had invited at least about 100 guests. Some close friends from high school, family from her side, and my side of the family, including our parents. We went in the big hall, went to the altar. We asked if I could use one of the microphones, and I then started telling others. This was just before the ceremony was about to start. I was like, "Excuse me, everyone. I have some news. I would like to inform everyone. Um, First of all, I appreciate that all of you showed up for this big day, but unfortunately, it's unfortunately canceled. And under the meaning that the wedding is off for good. All the guests, friends, and families just looked at each other, including Molly's parents. They even walked up to me, including with my own family. They demanded to know exactly why the wedding was off. At first, I assumed that I had cold feet, but I told them no. It's more shocking than it is. I told them Molly had been cheating on me with someone else. At first, Molly's parents was devastated, but also demanded to know for fact if there was any proof. I just only nodded to Jack, and he showed them the same video clip as I saw earlier. And I saw from Molly's mother, her face went pale like a ghost. And her father, well, let's say from his face went from pale to red of rage. My own parents, well, let's say they were equal at shocked and anger. The four of us, including my friend Jack, went to the dressing room where Molly was getting ready. She was clueless about what had happened. She wasn't even informed that the wedding has been cancelled. But when we all walked in, she was just sitting there, just getting finished the last part of her makeup. In fact, when she saw me, she told me to leave the room immediately as it was forbidden for the groom to see the bride. But I said, there is no groom here anymore. The wedding is off, I said angrily. She was confused and even asked why. Don't deny that you had been seen with someone else, her dad said, angrily. She tried to deny, of course, at first that this was not even happened. But then I told her, we have proof. And then I borrowed Jack's phone and showed her the clip. And her face went completely pale, like ghostly pale. She tried to come up with some excuses that it wasn't an actual kiss, but more like a hug. Sure, they were hugging also in the clip, but it was clearly visible that they were passionately kissing. We demanded to know how long this has been going on, at least to come clean about it. And then she did. She told us this hasn't even happened just once, but in fact has been going on for a whole year. Turns out, when she was in town, this guy that we knew from high school walked up to her and they just started talking randomly, which at that time I wouldn't see much of a problem with that since this is a decent sized town and we were probably running into our old high school friends at any time. But if she just had told me that she ran into an old classmate from high school, okay, I wouldn't have no problem with that. But then they started running into each other a little bit sometimes more often, and well, which led to they went to grab a coffee. and eventually end up having a secret relationship, even though he knew for the fact that I was already engaged with Molly. So I told Molly, you can have him by yourself. I'm canceling the wedding already. So after that, even though she plead and begged for this wedding to happen as promised, she will she will just break it off with that guy. But I said no, goes down. After that, I just turned and left, and I even left the church altogether. Well, what happened next? I left town for a few days, and when I came back, I didn't even bother to see her again. Even though we were living together already in a small apartment, but when I got home, all her things were gone. She had left. She even tried to bother even me again. I later learned from that she ended up dating the other guy instead, officially, in public. And let's say from this, Molly's parents, they don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. And all the other mutual friends we had, well, let's say they all thought bad of her from that, but she didn't care. As long as she had her dream guy, that was all that matters to her. But not long after this, I ran into another old friend from high school, Sarah. We started dating and not long afterwards, but after about 6 months or so, I actually proposed to this. I actually proposed to her and she said yes immediately. But for not so long after that happened, Molly must have heard about it because she tried to win me back, like multiple times, but she failed each single time. At first, I ran into her at a grocery store, or in town, or in a park. Sometimes she just tried to be a little bit sweet, the type of almost seductive type of way to win me over, but that failed big time. Even though she was still dating the other guy, she really had the audacity to even try multiple times to take me back. But I was not happy about it. You may understand why eventually. Because even though a year later I did end up marrying with Sarah, and I was happy that I canceled my marriage with Molly. Here's the reason. Because I later learned from another friend of mine that Molly's relationship with this other guy failed, since it turned out she was cheating on him with another guy. Boy, I really dodged the bullet that one. I really expected maybe that she was just only cheating with me with one guy. So if I had ended up marrying with her, who knows if she would have been cheating on me with one guy, but perhaps even multiple guys. And if we did have kids, there was always a 50-50. None of those would even have been mine. But anyways, I learned to really to act and refuse on things like this would ever happen. But now I'm really happy with Sarah, and we have two beautiful twin daughters, and I'm really happy that I never even end up with Molly. Even though she was beautiful, kind, but that was all like an act. So yeah, to Molly, thank you for showing your true colors. And for Sarah, I love you. And for my best friend Jack, also my twin daughter's godfather, thank you for telling me that day when you find out about the cheating. If he hadn't even told me, I may have actually ended up marrying with Molly anyways. So thank everyone for listening to my story. Thank you.